Hey, what's going on, everybody? Steve here, Raiken Profit over at RaikenProfit.com, coming back to you with another video. And today I want to talk a little bit about, well, a couple things. Number one, the free workshop, which is going on right now. It's being hosted by my friends Dan and Dylan of the Wholesale Formula. And it's a free workshop. It's a 3-day workshop where they teach you a lot of the beginner basics of starting a wholesale business, right? How to land wholesale accounts, how to negotiate deals, how to analyze products, how to get them shipped to you, how to know what a good deal is. And, you know, during these free events, there's only so much time, right? So I believe it was 3 hours on day one. It was like 3.5 hours on day two. And day three is tonight. So if you haven't signed up for the free workshop and you want to learn, you know, how to start a wholesale business, you know, how to do it, how Dan and Dylan have done over $30 million in the last 5 years, definitely check it out. I'll put a link down below. But also I wanted to share a little bit about the Wholesale Formula, right? So Dan and Dylan, they run an educational business as well on top of their wholesale business, where they teach people how to sell on Amazon and how to go through the wholesale business model. So I want to talk a little bit about that, because for some people, you know, they want to take it to the next level. For some people, they want someone to take their hand and walk them through the step-by-step process. And as you know, with anything that's free, right, whether it's a workshop, an ebook, you know, a mini course, there's only so much they can teach, right? When you're actually, if you want to be successful with a business, there's a lot more than what's just on the surface. So Dan and Dylan, they created a program called the Wholesale Formula, which is 90 plus videos. It's private coaching and mentorship. They give you templates, they give you scripts, they give you videos, they do, you know, coaching calls, monthly calls. There's a whole bunch of stuff that they do in the program. So I want to talk about, is it worth joining the Wholesale Formula? Who you know, should even look into it? And I'll talk about my experience with it as well, because I went through the program last year. I shared a bit about it on the YouTube channel. I wish I could have dove a little bit deeper into it, but sometimes it's tough. You know, I'm running a resale business. I'm still selling on eBay, selling books. I've added wholesale to my business model now. So sometimes it's tough to, you know, create these videos and find the time to edit them and post them and whatnot. So my experience with the Wholesale Formula, and I'll put a link to it down below if you want to check it out. And I am an affiliate for it because I believe in it and I stand for it. So anyone who wants to join it or learn more about it, it's open for the next week. And I am throwing in about $4,000 worth of free bonuses, including courses, you know, coaching, all different types of stuff, ebooks. I'll put it down below, some links. But I think the program's absolutely great. Dan and Dylan, they not only did they create amazing videos, but they have an absolutely spectacular support team as well. So they have a whole bunch of coaches. If you ever have questions, they have a private community with, you know, not only a support team, but they have thousands of students who've actually gone through this program and, you know, have had success with it. I've interviewed probably 10 of them on my YouTube channel, and I'll throw some links down below as well to some of the people I've interviewed, because, you know, a lot of people think that all courses are BS. They don't believe in it. They think, you know what, just do it yourself. Nobody gets results. And I don't promote a ton of courses. There's a couple that I believe in, that I promote, that are outside of my scope of knowledge, nor maybe I just don't want to create a course about it. And I share it with my audience. And I'll tell you right now, the Wholesale Formula is a great program, but it's not cheap. It's coming in at, I think, 3 payments of $997 or $24.97. So for somebody who, you don't have any money, or maybe you only have a couple $1,000s or $2,000 or $3,000 to your name, I probably wouldn't do it. If I had maybe $5,000 or more and I started the payment plan, that would give me enough money to get started, go through the program, and start landing some accounts and getting some items sourced to you. But you got to remember, if you only have a couple $1,000s and you invest in the program, I wouldn't invest your last, you know, couple dollars in it, because it's going to take money. You have to source products. You have to get it shipped to you. A certain amount are going to sell, right? And it's going to take a certain amount of time for them to sell. And you're going to deal with some cash flow issues in the beginning, because you don't want to wait until you're completely sold out of a wholesale item to order more, right? You're going to want to, because you don't want to go out of stock, because that's going to hurt your listing. That's going to hurt your ability to continue selling that product. So 80% of the way through, based on what your calculations are, you're going to want to order, another shipment. That could be 100 to 500 units of that item. So that's going to put you somewhat in a negative cash flow. It's like a snowball that you're slowly building up, right? But for anyone who's been watching the workshop, it doesn't take a ton of products to hit your, quote unquote, your financial independence goals. And everybody has a different goal. It could be 3,000 a month, 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month profit we're talking, right? And profit margins for wholesale typically range between, I would say, 15 to 40%, depending on, the type of products you're getting in. And I would say probably more common around like 20, 25%. For me, it's been around 20 to 25% profit margins with my wholesale business. So I just want to put that out there. If you're on your last dollar and you don't have a ton of money, start with selling on eBay. Start with going to garage sales. Start with going to thrift stores. Flip books and clothing and electronics and build up your capital. And on the side, learn about wholesale as much as you can. Go through the free workshop. Check out the interviews that I've done below with different students, right? And even the other day, I interviewed my buddy Brad, who he's doing $70,000 a month at, I think, 23 years old with a wholesale business. So it doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your experience. But what does matter is, you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to, go through the process? The same with all of us learning how to sell on eBay and Amazon. And, I remember what it was like when I first started selling on eBay. It was stressful. I didn't understand how to ship items and refunds and returns. And I would buy clothing items with holes in it. I didn't even know how to inspect a blazer or a sport coat. So it's a journey. But if you are, well, first of all, if you are someone who wants to build a business that is scalable past, I would say, $5,000 to $10,000 a month. If you're somebody who wants to be able to work from your computer, if you're somebody who doesn't want to have to consistently, be going out sourcing for your next product at a thrift store or a garage sale or Facebook Marketplace or whatever, and you want to essentially put your money to work for you and put your knowledge to work for you, wholesale is great, because essentially what you're doing is, you're following a system. One, you're coming up with, so what I do is I come up with a whole list of competitors, right? Of people who are selling wholesale. And what Dan and Dylan teach, and this was fantastic, is they teach you how to spot a wholesale seller at Amazon. So what you can actually do is you can create a whole list of people who are selling wholesale. And then I use a software called Tactical Arbitrage to go in and pull out all the profitable wholesale products that competitors are selling. And then what I do is I create a whole list of brands and manufacturers that I want to reach out to. And Dan and Dylan, they provide you with templates and scripts, and they provide you with a bunch of stuff to be able to tell, well, first of all, is this a good deal? Is this a brand you should go after? But then how to send emails, how to make phone calls to all of the brands of products that your competitors are already selling that are profitable. It's modeling success. This is Tony Robbins 101. So this is the cool thing about this, is you can put a whole bunch of work in behind the scenes, create a whole list. And for me, I have virtual assistants going in and doing all this for me. They're creating lists of competitors. They're creating lists of products. They're emailing the brands for me. They're replying to the brands for me. And essentially what I'm doing is just getting things moving to a position where I pick up the phone or I send that final email to negotiate the deal. So I'm putting a team to work. I'm putting my money to work, because when I finally do put a deal together, I'll put $5,000, $10,000 into a deal. You don't have to start with that much. You can start with just a couple $1,000s, and you can get those products shipped to you or directly to the FBA warehouse, and then they're just selling behind the scenes. I'm not having to consistently go out and find new products. And when it starts getting to a certain level of inventory, I just place a call, or more commonly, just send an email to my supplier, and they send me more products. So obviously there's a lot, that goes into this process from step 1 to step 10. And that's what I love about the Wholesale Formula, is they walk you through every step of the process. And, with some programs, you take a course and you're like, well, what do I do here? What do I do there? Like, I'm stuck. Like, show me what to do. Their program literally says, click this, do this, download this, put this number here. They give you templates, they give you scripts. Like, any and everything that you need to do is in the Wholesale Formula program. So for me, I don't want to have to reinvent the wheel. I don't want to have to figure out what scripts. I don't want to have to figure out what templates to use. I don't want to figure out what softwares to use. Because one of the issues that I deal with is just information overload on the internet. There's so many YouTube channels, there's so many blogs, there's so many people selling programs and courses. You don't know who's legit, you don't know who's actually getting results. And there's a lot of people out there who they're selling you the shovels, but they're not actually in the trenches digging and figuring out how it's working. And the great thing about Dan and Dylan is they're doing this. They've done over $30 million. And every single time I bring them on my YouTube channel every year, because they open up the Wholesale Formula once a year, the number's higher. Last year it was 25 million. Now it's 30. They did 5 million over the last year. So they're in the trenches. They have a team. They're learning, the cutting edge secrets or strategies, whatever you want to call it, to what's working. So hopefully I'm giving you a little context into, what wholesale is, who it's for, why I'm such a firm believer in the Wholesale Formula and their coaching program as well. So they have a course and they have coaching in there as well. But for me, I paid for additional coaching as well in there. I think it was like an extra $700 a month. You don't have to get it. It's not necessary. But I really wanted someone to, like shortcut the learning. Like I wanted to, get from point A to point B as fast as possible. So they have different things in there as well for you to be able to speed it up, to be able to step up your learning and whatnot. But you really don't need any additional coaching. The program, is a step-by-step process, and it just takes time. So if you're looking for something to invest into, if you're looking for something that's more scalable, if you're looking for something that doesn't require you to have to constantly be finding new products, I would definitely check it out. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee. I have tons of bonuses that I'm throwing in as well. They have tons of bonuses. If you check out the sales page, I'll put it down below. It does close on February 25th, and that is solid. This isn't one of those programs that they say it's open for a week and then they close it and then it's open a week later because they're trying to use urgency to get you in. This is literally a program that's open for a week. And the reason it's only open for a week is because this isn't just a course where they put you through these digital, videos and then they just leave you to go, like, figure it out on your own. Like, they're working with you one-on-one, like they're coaches, they're doing calls, they're in the community. They only have a certain amount of time during the year to bring in these students and help them to get results. And that's the thing with the Wholesale Formula. They help people get results. But I can tell you right now, you're going to hear people who say, the Wholesale Formula is a scam. It doesn't work. I tried it. Blah, 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 blah. And I'll tell you right now, wholesale's not for everybody, right? Just like some people fail at eBay. Some people fail at selling on Amazon with books, or some people fail with online arbitrage. Everybody has a different personality, right? And I want to cover a couple of things here because this is big. Everybody's somewhat a different shape, right? You're not going to get a square to fit into a circle, and you got to figure out what's best for you. Maybe being a treasure hunter is best for you. Maybe you're not going to be able to deal with the stress of having to put $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on a line, right? Maybe you don't want to have to deal with spreadsheets and work with numbers behind the scenes and talk to suppliers and pick up the phone, right? Maybe that's not for you. Maybe you're not willing to put in the work, the upfront work that's required, because the biggest difference with wholesale, right, versus, and the same goes with like starting a YouTube channel or drop shipping. The biggest thing is there's a lot of upfront work. When you sell on eBay and you go to the thrift stores and garage sales, which I've been teaching for years, there's not a ton of upfront risk, right? You buy a product, you list it, it sells, you make your money, you're in it for $1 or $2, and it's pretty risk-free. You can look at the sold listings. There's a lot more that goes into this, right? So there's definitely a higher risk with wholesale, but the reward is much bigger. Not from like a percentage standpoint of a profit, but the long-term sustainability, the ability to be able to make money, your return on the time that you spend, right? You spend X amount of time at a thrift store and then you make X amount of dollars, but it's over. When you spend X amount of time in a wholesale business by putting in a relationship, it pays you over and over again. It's kind of like YouTube videos that I post. I have videos that make me $200, $300 a month that I made 4 years ago. I put in the time up front and it paid me on the back end. So that's the biggest difference with, models such as wholesale or private label or starting your own Shopify store, which I'm fans of all of them, is it allows you down the road, if you execute, to make passive income. So I'm a huge fan of the Wholesale Formula. I've got a huge bonus that I'm throwing in as well. It's almost $4,000 worth. I'll put the link down below. I'm throwing in all my courses, all my digital ebooks. I'm throwing in one-on-one coaching, pretty much any and everything that I could do to give you an unfair advantage, to not only be able to build up your capital to invest in it, but to be successful long-term. So yeah, if you haven't checked out the workshop, check it out down below. If you want to check out the Wholesale Formula, I'll put links to join it. And again, it closes February 25th. So with that being said, much love. Any questions you have, drop a comment down below. But I hope this video helped and it was an honest review of the pros and the cons. And maybe it's a fit for you, maybe it's not. But if anything, go learn, go make it happen, and take action. 2021 is your year. Take care.